All right, everybody. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and it's Quest time. Now, before we get going, I'm going to ask everybody to stay off the stage area here. This way nobody blocks the stage. It gives me a little room to move around the whole hosting thing. Now, I can also direct your attention to the menu wheel in your lower left. You're going to notice at the very top of that is a microphone icon. When that's clear, we can hear everything that's happening in your environment. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it to red in this way. If somebody comes in and asks you, are you still on that thing? Feel free to answer them because we're not going to hear that. Also, if you have like a dog barking in the background, you're not going to face social ruin back in the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that started barking during quest time. All right, so if we can avoid all that. But just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't participate. You can and should use this pink cheek smiley face in your menu wheel. When you press on that, your emoji panel opens up in front of you, and it gives you a lot of options to express yourself. So I see something really moving up here, and you feel it deep down inside, and it starts to go on up there. Maybe it starts flying up there, And, maybe some ninjas come out from backstage and it turns out they're not ninjas at all, but they're backup dancers. We break in the Quest Time, the musical, and you're all very, very impressed. You can throw up the applause I live for. We can take a moment to drink that in. Yeah, feels good. All right. If I ask a yes or no question, you can say yes by smiling. You can frown by to say, no, like that. If I say something funny, you can do the silly face emoji right there like that. If you need to get my attention for any reason, you can raise your hand up like this. But if I see just one of them go up, I'm going to probably keep on going. But if I see like 5 of them going up at one time, I know there's a problem. Like maybe the screen's caught on fire behind me. That actually happened one time because my mods have a good sense of humor. And, so that's a thing there. But, like I said, that's not how you ask questions. We will be taking questions and comments and stuff like that at the end. So hang on to them if you have any. All right. Also, if let's see, we were going to be the Quest Time is an event for Quest users. All are welcome. So if you're on a device, feel free to hang out. You may pick up some tips if you're thinking about getting a Quest, or maybe it's just some information that'll help the growing Quest community in Altspace, because we are getting a lot of new Oculus Quest users. Now, just a quick, we got these emoji panels up. Just a couple quick questions so I know how to proceed. How many of you are on a Quest right now? Let me see some smileys or something like that, or hands up if you're on a Quest. Let me see. All right. Okay, that's a lot. Very cool. All right. How many of you are new to Altspace, like very recently joined? Okay, some hands up, some emojis there. So, that's a lot. Well, welcome to Altspace. We're new users all the time. That's really great. How many of you are upgrading from an Oculus Go? Like you used to use a Go and now you're using Quest? Anybody? Okay, a couple of hands up there. That's cool. And let's see what else we got. So that's cool. That gives me some idea of where to go from here. All right, now when I first got my Quest, I'd been using an Oculus Go for many months. And I got used to, like everybody in Altspace seeing me with one hand talking. Now I grew up in Brooklyn, so I talk with my hands a lot, right? And right, go like that, yeah. And and in Altspace, all anybody saw me doing, because I was on a one-handed controller, was moving around like this. And I didn't feel like I was expressing myself as fully as I could, so I was really looking forward to getting this second hand. But as it turns out, these hands are so much more than hands. When you get your controllers right, they're not just your hands, they're also your feet and how you interact with the environment and how you move around. And if you're here today, right, you've obviously got a handle on how the left thumbstick's going to move you around like this, and the right thumbstick's going to move you in circles like that, right? And you can combine the two of them to get these big, elaborate circles. That makes my presentation so much more dramatic. If I can see everybody moving in large circles like this, let me see, because when I look out and I see that, it looks like ballroom dancing. It's really cool. I always say I wish everybody could look out and see what I'm seeing when you guys do this, and now you can, because we just got a YouTube channel. So check that out. We're on the Ravenhole Labs. Check that out, and you'll be able to see yourself spinning around, and you'll get to feel Altspace famous. All right. So let's see here. Now I like to go over the controls. Now, if you're not new to the Quest and you've been on it for a while and you're already used to these, don't worry about that. Some of these exercises can be a lot of fun to do, and they'll also help everybody, the newer Quest users, to help them skill up. And so we're gonna look at some of this stuff now. And the way we're going to do this is, let's see. We got. We'll start out with these grip buttons here. You got one on your right controller and you got one on your left controller. Now these grip buttons, they're going to help you interact with your environment. So like, let's say, you're going to be able to interact with fireworks, sparklers, basketballs. You have all kinds of things you can interact with. And even if you're using the world editor, you can interact with the objects in the world editor. And it's going to change the behavior right, of some of these buttons when you're holding the world editor objects, right? Your right thumbstick now, instead of turning you, what's going to happen is if you move up and down on your thumbstick, it's going to push the object further away, or it's going to bring it closer to you. If you move your object, your thumbstick from left to right, you're going to notice that the object is going to get larger or smaller. What are you doing? Seriously, dude? Big Daddy, not cool. All right. I was very clear about staying off the stage. The laser went off and he suddenly vanished. What are you going to do? All right. So, while these aren't a lot of buttons to take in, keep in mind that some of these buttons do the same things, right? You see you've got the select button here, right? You've also got this right trigger. And if you have your left pointer enabled through your main menu, right, you've also got this select button up here. They all do the same thing. If you press any one of these buttons now and move your arm through the crowd, you're going to see everybody's name tag appear above their head. That's how I know that this is Viking and that this is Cat. And this here is guest 2375889 6. Is that a family name? That sounds like a family name. A good, strong family name. I like that. All right. So let's see. What else do we have? Now, also you have on your left controller, you have this trigger button here, and that actually acts like an accelerator. So if I'm walking along and I first squeeze down on that trigger, all of a sudden I'm going to start moving fast, right? Do a quick little lap around the room. Everybody's welcome to join me here. Everybody, let's get a whirlpool going. Sit here and move in a giant circle if everybody can. But hold down that left trigger, do it fast. If you start getting dizzy, you might want to stop because nobody needs to be feeling dizzy like that. All right, let me see how this looks. Keep it going, keep it going. I want to see, let me see, how's it look? Oh, wow. Look at you all move. That looks awesome. Very cool. Wow, somebody came up, the whirlpool came up on stage with me. Actually, yeah, you know what? We'll waste a little time here. Do this. Come up the stage, right? Everybody get it out of your system. Let's all jump on the stage and do like a lap right around the room. Everybody, make the stage part of the lap. Oh, wow, look at all you on the stage. That looks awesome. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. All right, so let's see what else we got here. We've got, you have also, now you're going to notice if you're having a room scale experience, right? That if you are basically you're walking out past your main menu, whenever you do that, it always ends up being somebody in Altspace says, hey, open your main menu, right? And you're like, oh, where is this thing? And you're looking around for it. I can't find it. That can get real annoying real fast. So if you have to remember that on a Quest, your main menu is in your hands at all time. Some handy information there, right? You've got this flat button on your left controller toward the bottom there. When you press on that, your main menu is going to open up. And if you press on it again, your main menu is going to close. That's pretty useful to know. Also, in Altspace, when I first came in on my Quest, right, I went to the campfire to test it out. And I was feeling good. I got a brand new device. I was feeling on top of the world, right? I was feeling a little bit, I'll be honest. I was feeling a little bit above everybody, I felt like I was just floating. And then I found out why. I looked down and I was floating this high off the ground, right? Now, if somebody can you scooch up or sit down in the chair, because on the Quest, we need to, worry about vertical movement, right? See how everybody went down here, right? Now, if Viking, if you press down your left thumbstick, show everybody what happens. Press down that left thumbstick. There you go. All right. Let's see if anybody else pop up a little bit for me, sit down. There we go. Change height. All right. Perfect, Matt. That's awesome. Now show everybody what happens when you press down on the left thumbstick. Boom, just like that. And that's called recentering. So if you're feeling like you're too tall or you're too short, you just press down on that left thumbstick and you'll be all right. All right. Now we also have a teleport button here on your right controller, and you also have the same one on your left controller, right? And I'm hoping you have your teleport set to line dash. It's a lot of fun to do it that way because you can combine these movements. Like I'm walking along and I hold down that teleport button, I can come out the other side of the teleport and keep on walking. All right. So let's get a handle on this right now. If everybody can line up against this wall right here. Everybody line up along here, make a nice line. And if you hold down the teleport button on your right controller and you aim it at the floor, you're going to see a circle. And if you aim it across the room at the other wall, as soon as you let go of that button, boom, you're going to get thrown right across the room. Right? So everybody just teleport on over here. Now let's try it with our left controller. If you hold down your left teleport button and you aim it right across the room, as soon as you let go, boom, right across the room. You can also combine these, hold down both of your teleport numbers, where did I get that from? Hold down both of the teleport buttons and make an X with it. And as soon as you let go, right, boom, boom, you make like a little zigzag motion. When I first did this, right, I was at the Universe and it was back when it was held in a really big world, right? And when the event was over, I went exploring and I walked right up to the edge of the world, right? And I'm looking down and I went a little bit too far because I fell, right? And when I fell, right, I started falling and I looked over and I saw this cliff, right? And I aimed my teleport button, right? And as I'm falling, I let go and boom, I was on that cliff. I was okay. I saved myself from respawning. And at that moment, I knew I was finally getting a handle on the controls. And if you're new to the Quest, if you're new to Altspace, don't worry, you will get used to it in a few days, to a week. And one great way you can learn these things is there's going to come a point where these no longer feel, like you're still going to feel the plastic in your hands, but they're no longer going to feel like controllers. They're actually going to feel like your hands. You won't think about the buttons when you push them. If I say, hey, everybody, look at that window over there. See how my hand just pointed? I didn't think about that at all. And the way I did this was, if you can hold down your third finger on your trigger, on your grip button rather, right, you'll be pointing straight up like this. You can make a threatening gesture to the audience and be like, everybody stay off my stage. Understand? Stay off my stage, right? And then you can also hold down on your other hand the grip button there, right, and give me a Brooklyn hello, right? Everybody? Yeah, this is how we do it back home. They're like, how you doing, right? Everybody going like that. Give me the how you doing. There you go. That's awesome. All right, while you're holding the hands like this, you can put them together, right? And you can make an Altspace logo, just like that, right? Go like that right there, you know? Or if you hold down the trigger on both of them like this, you give me 2 thumbs up, right? Maybe 2 thumbs down, right? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're a little confused about it. A couple weeks ago, we saw one guy do this. That was pretty cool, right? And that's how you learn. If you see somebody do something cool that you like when I first got my 2 hands, somebody in the campfire went like this, right? They were making like a bird. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. Everybody give that a try like that, right? It's very cool, you know? And so if you see somebody doing something you like, try to copy them, try to mirror the gesture, right? Also, if you touch your thumb down on your buttons or your thumbstick without actually pushing down on the buttons, you just touch them, your thumb will go down also. You can combine this in a kind of a dance move, you know, like that, or maybe spin it around like that, right? Kind of break it out like that. There you go. Very cool. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Pollock's got some moves there. Look how fast that is. Oh, that's incredible. Look, check out what Pollock is doing. That's awesome. Wait, no, Pollock, turn around so everybody can see that. That's cool. There you go. There you go. Do it again. Or actually, come up on stage so everybody can see you. Pollock, come up here. Come on up. Come on up. Come on. Perfect. Now turn around. Let everybody see this. Look at this. That is fast. Let me see if I can do that. See? I see something I like, and I'm trying to gesture. Whoa! He just teleported. Just flung himself right off stage. Go like this. There you go. Nice and fast. Everybody try that. See how fast he can go. I didn't know it like to track that quick. That's amazing. Very cool. Hey, give me a fist bump. Fist bump. Fist bump. Fist bump. Boom. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, let's see what else we have here. What do I do with my pointer? Pointer's gone. Oh, here it is. All right, now, also you have, let's see. Let me just make sure we don't forget anything. Oh, yeah. This one's very important, but don't press it now, because if you do, you're going to disappear, and I'm going to kind of feel it. You have this flat button on your right controller, and what this is going to do, in the same way that this opens your menu, this opens another menu. This opens your Oculus home menu. You go, takes that into Altspace. So if somebody says, hey, dinner's ready, right? This is the best button to push to leave Altspace in a hurry. This is how I leave Altspace personally. I just press that flat button, and then you get a choice to quit or resume. You know, that's great if you press the button by accident, like if you're the Universe and you start dancing and you press that button accidentally, right? You can just hit resume and you'll be back in Altspace like you never left. But if you hit quit, it'll close the app completely, and it's a great way to restart it. Now, and this is also a great button to use when things go wrong. All right. So, for example, like if you start moving your head and the whole world moves with you because something's like maybe the game's frozen or the app's frozen up, and you turn your head and the whole world's moving around, this can make you feel extremely dizzy. All right. It's not a great feeling. So you're going to need to be able to exit the program in a hurry, and the best way to do it is to press that flat button. Sometimes, though, when your headset freezes, that's not going to work. Sometimes when your headset freezes, like you're going to see like a black void on either side of the screen, or if you look up and down, you see a black void there, right? And you press on that flat button and nothing happens. It pays to know how to restart your device while it's still on your head, especially since when you do a restart, it takes a long time. It takes like 20 some odd seconds for your headset to restart. And if your headset isn't in a charge cycle and you're plugging in, you're not seeing the light come on, you're pressing and holding down that button if you're in a rush, like maybe you're hosting an event or monitoring an event, you need to get back in, that 20 something seconds can seem like forever. Right. And, this may cost you your device is broken. And that's what happened to me. And ever since then, what I do is I make sure that my device, I always restart my device while it's on my head. And the best way you can do this is if you take your index finger and you slide it along up and down on the side of the headset there, you're going to feel it raise that power button, right? And then sometimes you take your other index finger and you put it up there and you counterbalance it and you squeeze them together and you press and hold that power button down. And after about 4 seconds, your device is going to shut off. But don't let go. Just keep it going, right? And after about 10 seconds, you're going to start to wonder, why did Oculus make it take so long for this to reset? After about 15 seconds, you start thinking about, friends you haven't seen some time. You wonder how they're doing. Start thinking about that puppy you had when you were little, right? You start wondering about life. 20 seconds go by, and all of a sudden you're going to hear a beep. When you hear that beep, just pull your fingers off, just like that, right? You see the Oculus logo, your device start normally, and this is going to solve the majority of your problems that you're going to have in Altspace. But occasionally, something weird can happen. Like I left Altspace one time, and when I left, what happened was I got this notice that said Oculus Home is closing. Well, there was a button to press OK, not a lot of options, so I pressed OK. And all of a sudden the screen just said loading. And it just went on and on and on, like loading for a few minutes. And I restarted my device and it still said loading. I didn't know what was going on. So what happened was I asked Google about it. Google's a good friend of mine. A lot of, you guys, how useful he can be, right? He said that everybody else was having these problems too. And the only thing you could do was a factory reset. But I got to warn you, if you do a factory reset to reset your device, it's going to put it back the way it was when you got it. You're going to have to re-download all your apps. If you had any pictures at all, you're going to lose them. So only use that in an extreme circumstance. But it's good to know that it's there. All right, but yeah, you will lose everything. You will have to redo everything. All right, now, if you been using the Quest for a while, you're already familiar with the Guardian system. You've danced with the robot, you played with the blimp, you did that great tour that they have, right? Yeah, thumbs up. That's cool. I love seeing that body language. It never gets old. Give me that. Two thumbs up. Nice. Very cool. Oh, got a bunch of them. Cool. So it's going well, huh? All right. Oh, 2 thumbs down. Oh no, I'm wounded. There we go. All right. So what we got here is if you are messing around with the Guardian system, just a quick word about this, because a lot of times in Altspace, you'll see somebody walking along, right? And all of a sudden they go like that, because they hit a wall, right? You got to be very careful. You don't want to injure yourself or you don't want to damage your device. But there are some ways that you can use the Guardian system to your advantage. Like if you get dizzy in Altspace a lot, right? One thing you can do, and this is not with the Guardian system, is you can just hold up your hand and look at your hand, right? Just to help you regain your focus. And as soon as you even out, you can pull your hand back down and take in the world around you, right? That's good. But you can also use your Guardian system, right? What you can do is, like, let's say, for example, when you go up to your Guardian system, you lead with your hands. That's why you don't like walking to a wall. And as soon as you see that grid appear, you can still touch your thumbsticks, right? So you can still move around in VR while you're still seeing the grid, right? And you can walk up to some, you can walk up to some object in VR like this display here, right? And as soon as I walk up to this display, now I'm going to turn around and walk around because now I know this is my real world wall and I have a frame of reference. So I can be walking around, and maybe I fall off the stage into the audience. Oh no, they're all coming for me, right? And when you start attacking me, oh no, I'm in the crowd, they're all coming to get me. Now, normally this would make a person feel dizzy, but as long as I can see that screen behind you guys, right? As long as I can see that screen, which, I still can. So I'm not going to feel dizzy at all because I have a frame of reference. I know that's my real world wall. That's a good block, but I can still see it right over your head right there. I can still see it. It's a good angle though, perfect angle. All right. That's a great way, to actually remain steady while you're in VR. All right, another way you can use the Guardian system to your advantage, all right, is to, once you do the reality anchoring, right, you can also transition between a room scale and a seated experience pretty effortlessly and still remain in Altspace. And what I mean by this is, like, let's say I walk up to the edge of my Guardian, right, and I make sure I got enough room for my head to go through. As soon as I stick my head through, right, the pass-through goes off and I can see the real world. I can have a sip of my coffee and I can enjoy that. And I can look over and I can see my chairs over there. So I can walk on over to my chair, right? And I can turn around, I can sit down, and as soon as I'm comfortable, I can press that stationary experience button, that blue button. And as soon as I press that, right, and VR comes back into view, I'm going to find I'm still in Altspace. I was moderating this event one time because this works in the other direction. And I got up and I felt like getting up and walking around, right? And the event was almost over. So I got up and I go, and I'm, to walk around. I thought I was just going to step into my Guardian, right? But occasionally on the Quest, your Quest can lose your Guardian and it's going to want you to redraw the boundary. And that's usually not a big deal. But, like I said, the event was almost over and I was in Altspace and now I was worried I wouldn't be able to get back in. So I'm drawing the boundary again. And I'm like, oh no, the host is going to be upset. I'm going to have to explain why I flaked. What am I going to do? And I'm drawing this boundary out, and I'm wondering why is my play area so big, and then all of a sudden, when I close that loop and the grid pops right back up, right, I find that, I'm actually, not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace, right? And I never left. All anybody saw was my avatar frozen like that. And you'll see people standing around, you'll see their avatars frozen, you can kind of tell that nobody's home. They're having an out of avatar experience. Sort of like that. That was a good impression. Oh, that was awesome. You got great body language. Nice to see that. All right. So you got like basically out of avatar experience, I would call it. All right. So this is going to allow you to transition between, realities pretty effortlessly and remain in Altspace. And this way you never have to be uncomfortable. If you're at an event, you feel like sitting down, you can. If you're at an event, you feel like getting up and walking around, you absolutely can. Just be safe about it. Make sure you don't bump into any walls. Always lead with your hands. All right. Another thing you can do, is just pretty useless information, is you can, you can actually, if you go up to the edge of your boundary, right, and you make sure you have enough room to stick your head through. When you stick your head through, you can get that pass-through camera going on, right? Well, what happens is, if you do this very slowly, there's a sweet spot where you can see both realities at the same time. And this is great because you get a sense of the scale of the avatars. You can tell that avatars in Altspace are about 6 feet tall. I didn't know that, right? And it's also kind of neat to see the avatars of your friends, like in your, in your actual home space, like in your living room. All right, it's cool. It's pretty neat to see that. Hey, Dabber, how's it going? Nice to see you. All right, so let's see now. The great thing about the Quest is it just works, and it doesn't mean it can't work better, right? There's some accessories that can really improve the experience, right? For example, the earbuds. When I ordered them, I had to wait for a month for them to arrive, and in that time, I got used to how great the sound is on the Quest. There's no feedback. It's nice and clear. You can hear everybody okay. And then my earbuds arrived, and I was like, I might as well try them. So I put them on. One goes into each side of the headset, and they kind of dangle down, right? They're sort of like earrings for your headset. They make you. I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I like to think when I'm wearing these things, I look fancy. Yeah, I do. And so I go to the campfire to test this thing out, right? And did you guys know that there's a breeze in the campfire? I didn't know this. Nobody told me this. And, I walk over to that railing there, and I can actually hear the water rushing. It turns out, and I've been in Altspace for like a year, and I didn't know this. So it turns out there's a lot of ambient sounds in Altspace that can make the experience way more immersive. So it's really worth checking that out. You also have these, oh yeah. So when I first got the headset, I had been hearing that the Quest is very uncomfortable. All right. Now, if you're new to the Quest, you may agree with that. It turns out that's not true. All right. I'll tell you why. What happened was when I first got it, right, I actually know somebody that returned their Quest because for the same reason. I got these high cheekbones and the headset was digging into my forehead and I developed like a sore on my forehead. But I kept coming into VR. I didn't take a break. And one day I'm up there and I'm basically I'm hosting an Altspace VR 101. Some of you may see me doing that. And I'm getting to the part where I'm telling everybody about how that Michael Forrest knows too much about Altspace and he needs to be stopped. Right. And while I'm doing this, I feel this moisture coming down into my headset. Right. And and I'm trying, well, what's going on? But I don't stop, trained professional. And I just kept on going. Right. And you know what? Right. As I'm going along there, right, I couldn't figure out what it was. And let me tell you something, guest 478. I can't see the rest of your name. 478-95274. Right. Whoa, you're gone. Okay. Oh, you're over here. Wow. Fancy use of the teleport button. What happened was, I know what you're thinking, right? It's not that. Michael Forrest doesn't ever sweat, ever. So it wasn't that, right? So, and what happened was, it turned out I finished the event out, right? And my wife comes in and asks me, how'd it go? Because she's cool like that. And I go to slide the headset off, right? And as soon as I start to explain what happened, she says, go look in the mirror. And I'm like, okay. And she did it in that voice where you kind of have to. So let me see, what can I use as the mirror over here? All right, I'm going to use this column here. So I'm going to go over here and I look in the mirror, right? And when I look in the mirror, I see I've got these rings around my eyes, right? So it turned out that sore had opened up and actually bled into my headset, right? Which is nasty. I know it's gross, but I cleaned it up real good, I promise, right? But I knew I had to do something about this, right? I mean, it was cool. I see the frown, Hummingbird. I know you don't like this story, but I tell you what, right? I had a cool story after this. I kept walking around telling everybody, I bled for you, Altspace. I bled for Altspace. And I'd hold up my fist and I'd get all dramatic about it, right? Like that, right? I'd be like, Altspace, I bled for you. And see everybody doing the body language there, show me some rage up there like that. Yeah, all right, cool, very good. All right, so yeah, this guy's got it down. Olaf, that was awesome. Yeah, Olaf. Yeah, feeling it. All right. So what happened was I figured I got to do something about this. So I found a company called VR Cover. And VR Cover makes these inserts for your headset. And they got one that gets rid of light bleed. See what I did there? Huh? Okay. And you've got these cloth ones. That's the one I went with. It feels like you have a face in your pillow when you're wearing this thing. But it was coming from Thailand. It was going to take a week for it to arrive. And in that week, I kept using my headset a lot. Right. And it turns out that the oils in your face actually condition the fabric on the insert that comes with the Quest. And what this does is it actually changes the overall balance on the device. So if you're feeling it's uncomfortable and you get the urge to modify it in some way, like by getting an external battery pack or a counterbalance, hold off for a few weeks until you've gotten to know your headset and your headset's gotten to know you, because there is a breaking in period. It's not like, if you were a kid playing with these, like a baseball mitt, you have to oil it up to condition the leather. It's the same kind of thing. You have to break in the headset first. Because what happens if you modify it too early, what's going to happen is then the weight will change and the balance will change as it breaks in. And then you're going to think, oh, the Quest just isn't comfortable. Jay, that's too close. All right, let's see. So that's a good shot, though. And it landed like right in my face. It was like really impressive. All right, so let's see. Now, another thing you can get is these prescription inserts that'll protect your headset and protect your eyeglasses if you wear them. And listen, speaking of protecting your headset, can't go wrong with this Oculus travel case here. All right, what this will do, right? The box the Quest comes in is really great to store it in, right? Whoa, you're in the stage, Brian. What's going on? There's a face in the stage, and you look down, and there's like eyes coming up. Like one of those guys you ever see those classic stages, and they're holding up cards from the audience, going, you know, and I look down and I go, line, Ryan, what's my line? I don't know what to say, you know, but yeah, these these travel cases to protect your gear. It's important. If something happens to your Quest, like you leave it on the counter and maybe it's by a window and some sunlight comes in and it damages your screen, right? It's not going to feel like losing a toaster. All right, I've seen this happen where if you're in Altspace a lot and you've made friendships in here, right? What can happen is if you lose your device, you can register that as a deep loss. So take care of your equipment. All right, if you want to try any of these products, oh, we got the frown, Frog. That's good news. You want to keep your stuff safe. All right, so yeah, if you want to try any of these products, you can find them by going to altvr.com. And at altvr.com, in the upper left, you're going to see where it says events. Right next to that is the word channels. All right, if you press on channels, toward on the end, the second page there, you're going to see Ravenhall events, like it says up in the booth up there. And when you press on that, right, you're going to see all these products listed on the left-hand side. So if you want to try any of them, you can just find the links there. You'll also find the join Discord button if you want to help us put on these events. You know, and also you'll see the most important button ever. The button that says subscribe. It's the button that lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. But more importantly, right, we don't get paid to do this, and it's the button that makes us feel good. It makes us feel like you appreciate us. And every time I see that number go up, well, I just feel great. I'm seeing a lot of hands going up here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be taking your questions. All right, and the way we're going to do this is I'm going to make a button appear on your lower right called raise hand, right? And now, as if by magic, that appears. And what we're going to do now is we are going to wait for that list to fill up, all right? I see Daver's got a question. Daver, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Where are you? Nice to see you.
Right here.
You were stuck in my stage before. Where'd you go? Oh, what's going on? What's going on?
Why are you
What's the
hosting
question?
it on this stage? Also, there's a arm coming
Well,
out
what
of the
happened was,
display.
oh, you weren't here at the beginning? All right, what happened was we came in to do our show, right? And right when I come in about a half an hour early to get set up, you know, put out my tools. And, you know, what happened was the set didn't look right. It had merged with another space. The space became corrupt. And they told us we couldn't use that stage anymore, right? And you know what? We haven't seen Shrub since then. He's just been gone. So we're putting up these missing posters everywhere. So if you've seen him, right, have any idea where he might be, you know, just, you know, join our Discord and let us know because honestly, you know, we're very concerned about him. But that's why we're here now. This is a temporary set. We're going to have something custom coming soon and it's going to be real special. So watch out for that. All right, let's see if we have any other questions or comments. Let's see what we have here. We have Ryan2 Gaming. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Where are you? Ryan, where'd you go?
Right here.
Right here. There you are. What's up, Ryan?
Been doing good. Been doing good, Michael.
Cool. Glad to hear it. What's the question?
I have had problems with comfort in my back strap. Like it
Okay.
kind of hits the back of my head and it kind of hurts.
Okay. How long have you had the Quest?
Maybe I got it for Christmas, so it was on Christmas.
So it's still new. Yeah, I
It's still
understand your pain.
very
Listen,
new.
one of the things you can do is you can play with the straps to adjust the tightness of it. If it's too tight, it is going to cause discomfort. You can keep it kind of loose, right? What you're really going for is you want to balance it on your cheeks, all right? And you don't have to keep it like super loose. You don't want it like flying off your head if you're playing Beat Saber or something like that. But you also don't want it cutting off your circulation either, right? So you're going to find that over time, right, you got to basically get used to it, and there is a breaking in period, right? So, you know, it will get more comfortable over time, but in the beginning, it is a pretty uncomfortable experience. But you will get to a point, and you remember me saying this, you're going to get to a point where you don't feel like you're wearing a headset at all. You're just here in this space in VR with all of us, right? And it's a lot more immersive when you no longer feel it on your head. But it takes a couple to a few weeks to get there. All right, let's see what else we have here.
Thank you.
Have time for one more? No problem. Nice to see you again, Ryan. Let's see, we've got Dare Fox 44. You're on the air. What's going on, Dare Fox? Where are you? Dare Fox, where'd you go? Okay, you're not on the air? Dare Fox. Maybe you pushed that button by accident? That can happen. All right, let's see. Let's try to get somebody else here.
Hello?
We've got hand going. Oh, wait, there we are. Dare Fox, what's going on?
Me?
There. Yeah, Dare Fox. Let's see. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it was tight at first.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Is it more
always fell
comfortable
off
now?
when I was playing. Yeah, it was always fell off, so it was really hard, but I got used
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, it takes time to get used to it. You got to give it time to get used to you also. Listen, before we get going, I want to show you guys something else too. Right, if you're new to Altspace especially, we usually end our events by taking everybody to Flight Academy to go flying. But if you've new to Quest, you will notice, you may have seen these around. This is a flight tool, right? And the way this works is you hold it with a grip button, and then you squeeze your trigger button, and you can make small lines, and it'll move you in the direction of that line. And if you make a long line, well, it's going to take you very fast in a direction that you're drawing. And believe it or not, it actually doesn't make you dizzy, especially if you're having a skiing experience. If you are standing, it can make you feel a little bit wobbly. All right. So I'm going to show you how to use those if you'd like to come up and see me at the Flight Academy after. And we're going to head out now. All right. Actually, before we do, I want to thank all of you for coming, and I want to ask you if you learned anything here today, please ship, and you're like, what's wrong, little buddy? And they look up and they're like, I'm on a quest and I'm stuck in the ground and I can't get up. What do I do? What you could do is you can just tell them to press that left thumbstick down, and they'll pop up and they'll feel better, and you'll feel better because you helped somebody. And that's how we keep this Altspace thing going, right? All right. So we are going to head out. I want to thank you all for joining us today. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to move to music. Okay. We're going to go out that back door into that portal right there, into the load screen. We're going to come out the other side at Rainbow Academy. Let's get going, everybody. So show me your moves, everybody. Let's see. Come on. Get on up here. Let's do this thing. Let's see. Move around. There you go. Wobbling around. Go into that door and see if we can do this backwards. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks for coming, everybody.